Welcome to another exciting set of video notes. Today we're going to look at circles as a conic section. This should be pretty familiar to you guys, as I think you've done equations of circles in the past. So a circle is the set of all points in a plane that are distance r from a given point, called the center. The distance r is the radius of the circle. First thing I want to do is I want to go and derive this formula just because it's quick and easy and it's kind of nice to see. This is something we like to do in math when it's easy and not super confusing. So we're going to use the distance formula, and if you remember, that's d equals the square root of x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. Okay, that's our distance formula right there. And we're given a center at hk and a point located on the circle at x comma y with a radius of r. Well, looking at this picture here, this would be x comma y. So we can use the distance formula to go through and express this. The distance, d, between these 2 points is going to be r. So I got r is equal to the square root of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. And if I get rid of the square root by squaring r and the other side, I end up with r squared is equal to x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. And that there is the standard form of an equation of the circle with center h comma k. And you can see it's again down here. Okay, this is nothing crazy. All it does is move the circle around, r changes, the circle gets bigger and smaller. This is our easiest conic section because there's the least amount of stuff going on. There's no horizontal or vertical circles. Circle's a circle, nothing special there. So let's go through and write some equations given some properties. So write an equation for the set of points in a plane that are 5 units from the point 2, comma, negative 3. So that tells me that r is equal to 5, because that's the 5 units from the point, so that's my radius. H is equal to 2, and k is equal to negative 3. And that's because my center is the point h comma k, not negative 3, is my center. So go through and throw the formula. I got 25 is equal to x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared, because it's going to be minus negative 3, it turns it into a plus. There you go, there's our equation. This problem's dumb. It's saying write an equation for the set of points in a plane that are r units from point h comma k. Well, that's just my equation for a circle. Which we've already derived and done all that, so I don't need to do it again. Write an equation for a circle whose center is at the origin and whose radius is 12 units. The center is at 0, 0. That just means it's going to be x squared plus y squared is equal to 144. Nothing crazy here. If there's no transformations, that means that it's x squared and y squared by itself. No quantity squared there. Determine the equation of a circle that is the translation of the circle x squared plus y squared equals 40, left 6 units and up 9 units. Okay, for this problem, write down your untransformed equation, leave a little space, okay, because the radius isn't going to change. But left 6 units means I'm going to be adding 6 to x, and up 9 units means I'm going to be subtracting 9 to y. And there you go, there's your equation. Okay, so determine the center, radius, and sketch each circle. So let's write down the center. Center of this circle is going to be 3, comma, negative 5. Okay, my radius is going to be 6. Okay, and then to graph this, let's not get too crazy. Okay, if this is 5, this is 5, this is negative 5, this is negative 5. Let's go 3, negative 5, so I'm about right here. And then we got to go 6. So I go 6 up here. This is 3 plus 2, plus, it's like right there somewhere. There's a point right here, point right here. It looks something like this. And as you guys can see, I drew that circle perfectly. Goes through all the points and is beautiful. All right, the next one here, the center is at 0, comma 2. And my radius is equal to the square root of 10. Now, note how radiuses, they don't need to be a whole number. As a matter of fact, there's infinitely more radiuses with non-whole number values than there are with whole number values. So let's go through and do a nice little graph of this. So first graph here, center, so 0, 2, so go up 2. And then r square root of 10, this is approximately 3 point something. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger than 3. So let's go 3, 1, 2, 3, put a point. 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 And that right here is a circle that's good enough. Again, it's a perfect circle that I just drew there. Very proud of it. Okay, last little piece. It says write the equation of the conic section in standard form. Okay, this is where it gets really, really fun because now there's 2 squared terms. Okay, in this case, there's only one other y term, so I can rewrite this as x squared plus y squared minus 4y is equal to, let's move this over as positive 5, there we go. Okay, so I want to complete the square with these y terms. This x squared is good by itself, so we can leave it, but let's complete the square here. I'm going to add 4 to this. Okay, add 4 to this, which also means I need to subtract 4. Okay, put this all together, I end up with x squared plus the quantity y minus 2 squared minus 4 is equal to 5, and then I have to add this over, so I end up with x squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 9. There's the equation I was looking for. Okay, now here's a little note. If you remember back to when we were doing completing the square, this step right here, okay, this step, what I could have done instead is I could have added to both sides, and it would have been the same thing. So this is important to remember. You can kind of save time by doing this as opposed to doing what we would have done before, okay, which is adding to both sides and simplifying. Because remember, this expression here, both x and y, are on the same side rather than on 2 different sides. Okay, here's as complicated as we can get with these circle problems. Notice how there's an x squared, an x, and a y squared, and a y. So we got to group everything together. So I got x squared minus 8x, leave a little space, plus y squared plus 8y is equal to negative 28. I did not leave enough space, so I'm going to fix that real quick. Is equal to negative 28. There we go. Now there's enough space for me to complete my square. Well, what term completes the square with negative 8? Well, negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. So I'm going to plus 16 here. If I add 16 here, I have to add it here as well. Okay, for this one, what's going to complete the square here? Well, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So plus 16 again, which means I need to add another 16 over here to keep my equation balanced. This expression here becomes x minus 4 quantity squared. plus this expression, which becomes y plus 4 quantity squared. Then put everything together here. This is 32 plus negative 28. That's going to be 4. Okay, lots of 4's in here, but it worked out nice. There's the equation of my circle. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you remember how to do circles, and good luck on the practice problems after this in the IXL assignment.